Thank you very much.
Steve Jobs resigns as Apple CEO to become chairman of the board. Images of the expected iPhone 5 begin to emerge, and Jailbreak.com founder Comex gets hired by Apple. All this and more coming up right now. Hello everybody, I'm Jaime Rivera and welcome to the Pocketnow iReview, the show where we go through all this week's cool and the not so cool inside the world of Apple's iOS devices. This is a strange week with a lot of more not so cool news than cool, so let's breeze through the cool and then we'll start off with the not so cool. Now, images of parts of the supposed next generation iPhone have begun to surface, and it all sounds like I told you so. First of all, the images of the frames all point out to a flat-back iPhone, just like we have with the iPhone 4. And it does point out that we also will have a glass back, though this one does seem matte instead of the glary one that we currently have. So hopefully we'll also have a glareless front for the next generation device. Aside from that, the A5 chip is a given, and it does seem that the battery will keep the same size. And well, we're all expecting a larger home button and a larger casing, but that's yet to be confirmed because the images could just be zoomed in for the casing, and that's really hard to confirm. Now remember, we are assuming that Apple will release two devices at the same time. Hopefully it will be the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4S, or it could be the iPhone 4G and the iPhone 4S. Doesn't really know what moniker they'll be following, but we will most probably be getting two devices, and these images could probably just be of the cheaper iPhone that will keep the iPhone 4 design. Time will tell. And continuing on with rumor mill, Sprint is on the mix of releases that we'll probably get at the same time, and it does seem that Sprint will be getting both the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4. Now what's really got us all cooking is wondering if we will get WiMax on the next generation iPhone, or if Sprint simply won't get 4G because we'll probably only get LTE. Rumors have it that the next generation device will be a dual mode device that will work on both GSM and CDMA carriers, but still 4G is something that we really don't know what to make of. Now remember, since September's in the air, rumors also have it that Apple's already working on the ads that'll be used to promote the device. Most probably that initial video that we got for the iPhone 4, and hopefully the same thing that we'll be getting once the device becomes public. Well, iOS 5 beta keeps cooking, and rumors have it that Apple's working on sort of an earthquake detection technology for the Japanese market. If you enable the service, apparently it'll let you know seconds or even minutes before an event that something's going to happen. Now, before you ask me how does this work, no, it's not going to work with your accelerometer or gyro. I mean, can you imagine some people getting the alert and other people not getting it? Well, it does seem that all Apple's going to do is connect to the Japanese government warning system, which apparently Japan has one of the best in the world, to let you know whenever these alerts come. Now, this will definitely be an attempt against your battery life, so it's an option for you to activate it or not. Now, the sad news here is that it seems that it will only be available in the Japanese market. And it's such an irony because Apple is currently residing in California, where earthquakes are also common, and it doesn't seem that it'll make it to the Californian demographic, so sad news there.
We've been very lucky to have brought a few revolutionary user interfaces to the market in our time. First was the mouse. The second was the click wheel. And now we're going to bring multi-touch to the market. And each of these revolutionary user interfaces has made possible a revolutionary product. The Mac, the iPod, and now the iPhone.
Steve Jobs has just resigned as Apple CEO to become chairman of the board. Can you believe this? I mean, according to Steve's resignation, he promised Apple that he would resign whenever he didn't feel fit to fulfill his duties, and sadly that time has come. We're hoping that this has nothing to do with Steve's deteriorated health, and we do wish him well. Now, some of us believe that having Steve as chairman of the board is actually the smartest move in corporate history. See, Apple's no longer going to have to be pushing things for the board to approve and just make things breeze faster, because Steve has promised that he will still be working directly in major product development. So, sadly though, history has proven that Apple doesn't really do good without Steve's micromanaging, so we're not sure what to expect as Tim Cook becomes the new CEO of Apple. So, time will tell, and let's hope that things do happen for the best. Apple stock is currently up after it fell a couple of points, so things do seem like if the stock market does buy into what's going on. As part of Steve Jobs' succession plan, Tim Cook has been appointed as Apple's new CEO after being Apple's COO for quite a while. And well, Steve recommended it to the board and they approved. Now, Tim Cook has been handling Apple ever since Steve Jobs had been having medical leave, so we've got really no discussion about his leadership style or his capability of handling the reins of Apple. The question is, does he have the vision? I mean, we're really worried about Tim Cook bringing that same Steve Ballmer effect that we see in Microsoft. Steve Ballmer is a really good business administrator, but he really doesn't bring any vision to the products that they launch. Again, he just does a really good job in bringing the stock up. So that's really not what we're looking for. I mean, we really need somebody to continue bringing that vision to Apple in the future, and we're not really sure Tim Cook is going to be able to deliver in that part. Now, can you imagine a Steve Note being something of the past and having Tim Cook bring a Tim Note? I don't really see that. And finally, 19-year-old Nicholas Allegra, famously known in the underworld as Comex, has just been hired by Apple. Why is this bad? Well, Jailbreak.com was designed by Comex, and he was the only person that could figure out how to get an over-the-air jailbreak for your iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch through a PDF exploit. He's at the time the only human being that's been able to bring an untethered jailbreak to the iPad 2's A5 chip, so this could just give you an idea of how grim the future for jailbreaks of the next generation iPhone, bringing an A5 chip, could be in the future. Hopefully he did pass on his secrets to somebody else, but again, it's just really sad to see him go. Thanks for everything, for all the brilliant work, Comex, and we do wish you well in your new internship in Apple. Let's see what happens from here on. That's it for today's show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jaime Rivera. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. That's it for now.